Well, Donald Trump is not the only person in his family who's kind of freaking out right now about what's happening with the election and the fact that the more the votes are counted, the worse it looks for Donnie. His family, mostly Eric and Donnie Jr., are also having their own collective meltdowns in various parts of the media. Eric is sticking pretty much primarily to Twitter, where he is tweeting out videos that claim there's massive amounts of voting fraud, yet not one of them offers any proof. And then John Jr. has given a couple interviews and, of course, taken to Twitter, where he's gotten smacked down by the Twitter gods for posting misinformation. But yesterday, during one of his interviews, he said that his dad needs to fight every one of these battles to the death, and that he needs to engage in, quote, a total war to make sure that he remains president of the United States. A total war. Fight him to the death. Which, I mean, not to be technical here, Donnie Jr., but if your dad fights a battle to the death, wouldn't that mean he's not going to be president anymore? And wouldn't that make Mike Pence president? You know, you're speaking metaphorically, but come on. Let's use better metaphors here. You can't talk about the president dying, Donnie Jr., even if it's your dad, okay? You gotta be very careful. There's rules about that. Nevertheless, this is a man, Jr., and his dad, who've never been to war. They don't know what it's actually like, but they like using those big tough guy, metaphors like, this is war. We're gonna fight it to the death, man. We're with you, brother. We got this. Yeah, for America. No, y'all don't know what it's like. I don't know what it's like. I didn't serve in the military. But you guys didn't either. But I'm also not invoking that kind of imagery to make myself look bigger and better than I actually am. You're cowards. And that's why you're freaking out right now, too. Because you're afraid. Not just of daddy not being president anymore. Not just of losing that clout and that access, but you're afraid of what's coming down the pipeline once daddy's out of office. Because that's going to take all of you down. Or at least cast a really, really dark cloud over your businesses for the remainder of their days. And we know that because New York Attorney General Letitia James said as much on MSNBC with Ali Velshi this past weekend. She said, when he's out of office, actually, she said it doesn't matter if he wins or loses the election, she's still going to pursue these investigations. But if he's not the president anymore, there goes his only defense and his only rationale for getting these cases continued and not complying with subpoenas. Once he's out of office, he doesn't have that excuse anymore. Don Jr. doesn't have that excuse anymore. Eric Trump doesn't have that excuse anymore. And we know that they've been waiting to get his testimony. It's done. That's why the Trump family is freaking out so much right now. Because they could be going to prison in the very near future, or at the very least, watch this business that they have created get broken down, broken up, confiscated by banks, by prosecutors, by cities and states and other countries. They've seen it happen, little bits and pieces here and there. And considering the investigations they're facing and considering the massive amounts of debts that are coming due that the president doesn't have the cash to pay, yeah, if I were them, I'd be pretty scared right now too.